China's obsession with annexing Taiwan has been the subject of global debate for a long time. China's rapid economic and military buildup is focused on acquiring the capabilities needed to annex or conquer Taiwan. The Chinese Communist Party calls it the dream of achieving national unification, which underscores the Chinese expansionist desires, while almost on a weekly basis, the PLA Air Force and the PLA Navy are infringing into Taiwanese airspace and maritime boundaries, and even fires long-range rockets directly overflying Taiwan. This is because the People's Republic of China does not see Taiwan as an independent state, but a rogue province that needs bringing back under control. China refuses to have diplomatic ties with nations that recognize Taiwan as an independent state. And in 2005, China passed a law authorizing the use of military force if Taiwan formally tries to secede. Today, we shall try to answer as to why China wants to annex Taiwan. When is it likely to go for Taiwan's jugular vein? And how would it execute its war plans? Let's understand how legitimate is China's claim on Taiwan. Taiwan first appeared in Chinese records in 239 AD, when an expeditionary force of Eastern Wu set sail to explore the island of Jeju, suspected to be Taiwan, something Beijing uses to back its territorial claims. After a relatively brief spell as a Dutch colony from 1624 to 1661, Taiwan was administered by China's Qing dynasty from 1683 to 1895, till Japan won the First Sino-Japanese War and the Qing government had to cede Taiwan to Japan. After World War II, Japan surrendered and relinquished control of territory it had taken from China. The Republic of China thereafter began ruling Taiwan with the consent of its allies, the US and UK. So, why does China want to annex Taiwan? There are many reasons articulated by various China experts. As per an article by Jacob Tirhuber, published in The Sun, Beijing insists that the People's Republic of China is the sole heir to the China title, and the independence of Taiwan would mean that another country has a claim to be the true China. While the United States does not formally recognize Taiwan as an independent country, it does support Taiwan in other ways, and China is uncomfortable with the prospect of what it sees as its territory falling within the US sphere of influence. An article published in the National Interest Journal points out that there are critical geostrategic issues at stake. PLA argues that Taiwan sits in a strategic position along China's eastern seaboard, making it a gateway to the Western Pacific and the Indian Ocean. They assert that since the great majority of China's shipping traffic passes through the Taiwanese Strait, it is a vital area affecting the security of their coastline, national economic growth, and future prosperity. Beijing feels threatened that an external military power, meaning the US, might one day use Taiwan to cut off China's trade lines, hinting that the island could be used as a military base by the United States to blockade China and undermine its rapid rise to great power status. On this basis, China believes that physical control over Taiwan is vital for safeguarding against foreign blockades. China's seaborne oil imports, which pass through the strait, are highly vulnerable. Therefore, protecting the security of this strategic maritime passageway is not just a military objective alone, but rather an act of national strategy. Beijing also looks at Taiwan as a choke point for blockading Japan. Being integral to the first island chain, Taiwan influences the Chinese as well as the Japanese maritime lifeline that runs from Europe and the Middle East. An article published in the Economic Times amplified as to how Japan feels threatened with China asserting itself on Taiwan. Japan receives 90% of its oil imports, 99% of its mineral resources, and 100% of its nuclear fuel needs from ships that travel across the sea lanes. In total, 500 million tons of Japanese imports pass by Taiwanese waters each year, with 80% of all Japanese container ships traveling through the strait or in near proximity to it. Consequently, controlling these waters will directly affect Japan's life or death, its survival or demise. An article in the Sydney Morning Herald mentions that China's coastline in the East China Sea lacks deep water ports. Chinese submarines must operate on the surface until they are able to submerge and dive deep when they reach the area of Ryukyu archipelagos near Japan. If China controlled Taiwan, its submarines would have a far easier exit from Taiwan's deep water ports into the Pacific, bypassing Ryukyu archipelago. An article in Fox Business by Lucas Tomlinson gives another reason for China to invade Taiwan. Taiwan is the largest and most sophisticated microchip maker in the world. These chips power the world's cars, phones, and computers. China consumes more than half of them and wants more as its economy grows and is increasingly casting an eye to its island neighbor to the east. Some worry by military force one day. Some experts feel that whoever controls the design and production of these microchips, they will set the course for the 21st century. By gaining control over Taiwan's semiconductor industry, China would control the global market. They would have access to the most advanced manufacturing capabilities, and that is even more valuable than controlling the world's oil. Despite all these considerations, Beijing was biding its time while hiding its capabilities, but has stepped up its activities around Taiwan since Tsai Ing-wen was first elected as the president in 2016. Her politics and her administration's close relationship with the US have angered Beijing, which claims Taiwan as its own despite having never ruled the island. As part of Taiwan's push for more political space, Tsai has sought to bolster Taiwan's defenses by raising the defense budget, reforming the reserves, improving its image from historical associations with the martial law era, and purchasing billions of dollars in arms from US, which has been rattling the Chinese Communist Party. The question that arises is, when would China try to annex Taiwan? Most of the China experts agree that China would someday definitely go for annexing Taiwan. The moot question is, when? US Pacific Fleet Commander Admiral John Aquilino testified to the Senate Armed Services Committee on defense of Taiwan vital to regional national security, and he believes that a Chinese military assault on Taiwan is on the horizon sometime between now and 2045. The Admiral believes that a conflict between Taiwan and China could erupt within this decade, and as soon as in the next 6 years. China has a stated ambition to supplant the US and its leadership role by 2040, and that Taiwan is clearly one of their ambitions before then. Some experts believe that China, when it celebrates 100th anniversary of the People's Republic of China in 2049, it would like the world to look at it as a responsible global power and not any expansionist demon. Therefore, the annexation of Taiwan should take place at least 15 years prior to 2049, allowing the world to forget. So that takes us to somewhere around early to mid-2030s. Incidentally, a similar timeline has been given by Admiral James Stavridis in his book 2034 for Invasion of Taiwan by China. Kevin Rudd, former Australian Prime Minister, appreciates that China will be looking at its options to leverage Taiwan back into a form of political union by the time we get into the late 2020s and into the early 2030s. So how will China execute the annexation of Taiwan? Xi Jinping, when he delivered a speech to mark 100 years of the Chinese Communist Party, pledged a complete reunification with Taiwan. This was followed up with an article in The Sun publication which outlined a three-pronged attack that would pave the way for an amphibious landing and the toppling of the government in Taipei. The first stage would see DF-16 short-range ballistic missiles pulverizing airports, early warning radars, anti-air missile bases and command centers across the island. The attacks against Taiwan's airports and missile bases would continue until Chinese surface troops had accomplished an assault landing. Following this, China's H-6 bombers and J-16 fighter jets would attack naval ports, although the facilities would not be completely destroyed, so the People's Liberation Army could use them for a landing. In the second stage, the article states YJ-91 and CJ-10 cruise missiles would be unleashed from land, warships, and submarines. Military bases, ammunition depots, communications infrastructure, and key road junctions would be crippled. Finally, the article said warships and land-based rocket forces would wipe out any remaining obstacles so the PLA's Marine Corps and amphibious landing troops would safely land. Whether these prophecies stand correct and China would invade Taiwan is for time to tell. If you liked our content, please like, share and subscribe to our channel, and do give your suggestions in the comments section below.